Mike Lombardi on Joe Flacco in Kevin Stefanski's and the Browns offense. This was from the Pat McAfee show. It's really interesting.
Flacco probably what next year? He's going to sign a 2-year deal, probably $40 to $45 million.
I don't know, because Flacco, if you study Flacco's career, he's really good in that Stefanski, really it's Gary Kubiak system. God bless Gary Kubiak. It's his system. And he was really good in that when the Ravens played with him in 14. Flacco was very good. But then when he lost that ability. Like, I don't know how the Browns don't bring Flacco back. I know they got Deshaun at $65 million for the next 3 years, but he's the best player for their offense right now. I think he'll, and Flacco knows that, right? Flacco knows this is the best way for me to make money. Like, I can go somewhere else in my career.
How many other ones of those are around here? That's like the next question then. How many other locations?
Like, who would fit that scheme? I mean, I think to me, well, we know Shanahan runs that scheme. It's the Kubiak, Mike Shanahan. We know that Houston runs that scheme, but they run it and they understand it. It's one thing to steal the plays. It's another thing to understand the scheme. Right? That everybody steals the plays. Everybody stole Kubiak's, throwback to the tight end on the over route. That's become so popular, or the delay route. But it's, do you understand the offense? And I think that, and how you coach the quarterback too. Let's not minimize that. It's how the relationship is between the coach and the quarterback.
I'm excited to see what happens with Joey Flacco.
Me too.
Yeah. Casey, the first drive that he had against the Rams, it was like, oh, this is what this is supposed to look like.
Yeah, and he's been the perfect avatar for what Stefanski wants to do as a play caller. And a lot of that is the familiarity of being in the Kubiak system, And it was interesting to see there when they brought everyone together in the personnel department. They all had to do their quarterback scouting of people that are available. They all had Flacco as the number one option. So, so when Stefanski can cross-reference that with Gary Kubiak himself about, you kind of have an idea of how it would fit. And it's just worked out better than anyone could have possibly imagined. And it's a mix of things, too, because in Stefanski's offense, you have to hit those layups. He'll call the layups for you, and you have to hit them. They're the extension of your running game. They're easy ways to stay up with the sticks. But then you have to take advantage in the verticality of the game. And so far, out of all the quarterbacks that Stefanski's had, this has been the best player he's had at that exact thing, where you can hit the layups, but then just be efficient in your verticality and really make defenses pay and keep them on their back foot. And it's just kind of come together for a perfect storm with your personnel and the things you want to call and the things you want to do and the things you've already kind of had built into your system, that he could just step in and do these things right away. And he's been the perfect avatar for what Stefanski wants to dial up.
And it will be interesting to see. Joe Flacco will likely have some options, but he's not a guy that needs the money. He's not a guy that needs to take a beating at 39, 40 years old. So it'll just be real interesting to see what he decides he's going to do moving forward.